Merriam-Webster dictionary defines war as an open and declared armed hostile conflict between states or nations. Although until recently, this had just been another term I learned about in history class. This wasn't the case for my grandfather, however, Rick Cowley. As the grandson of a soldier who fought in our country in the Korean War and served around the world, I've listened to many stories about how my grandfather, and with that, many reasons why it's nothing short of a miracle I'm here to give this speech today. Although many of my classmates, including myself, have never seen active duty during a time of war, our lives have undoubtedly been affected either directly or indirectly. The Korean War was a war that the Allies felt was against communism itself. Following World War II, Russia, then a communist state, and the U.S. had divided Korea to restore peace and eventually unify the country under an independent government. As Russian and U.S. relations began to deteriorate, North Korea developed into a communist state. On June 25, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea. As the Allies fought back, they approached the Chinese borders. The Chinese took this as a sign of aggression and drove the Allies back into South Korea. With the Chinese intervention, two major world powers were now backing the war, fighting for communism. Many Americans took this aggression as evidence that China too was fighting for the spread of communism. As the Allies in North Korea fought to a stalemate, many U.S. soldiers endured hardships. Many U.S. soldiers were subjected to dangerous missions and harsh conditions. That particular summer showed record highs for temperatures, and dangerous intestinal diseases, as well as other illnesses, were common among Allied soldiers, as they were often forced to drink water from rice paddies that had been fertilized with human waste. The following winter showed no relief in the blistering cold. My grandfather served on a wooden minesweeper boat off the coast of North Korea. Every morning, his company was forced to hack the ice off of the hull just to keep it from capsizing. The only warm showers they were allowed came from the occasional U.S. destroyer that just happened to be in their area. As the soldiers endured, little was seen by the American population. When compared to World War II and the Vietnam War, the Korean War saw much less attention from the media. When this happens, a crucial aspect of being a soldier during a time of war can be stripped from them. For my grandfather, the lack of recognition relieved from him his sense of glory and appreciation for having performed such a dangerous service. This coupled with harsh conditions and dangerous work made my grandfather's ride home the only enjoyable moment of his deployment. The Korean War was a fight against communism, and the Allies' involvement stunted its growth. In the process, however, placing soldiers, like my grandfather, in the face of danger without the acknowledgement deserved. My grandfather put his life on the line during the Korean War, keeping his company, among many others, alive. Just as I am here today, no doubt many others would not be here if it weren't for people and the proud men like my grandfather, Rick Cowley. Thank you.